Yo, what is up guys? Hope you're all doing well. Today we are back at it again with what is probably the bread and butter of this YouTube channel, and that is the farm commentary in some sort of air vehicle. Today though we are on Delta Force flying the Recon helicopter, so not Battlefield this time, but I think what we will find out here is that Battlefield experience definitely transfers very well into Delta Force. So today we are flying, as I said, the Recon helicopter. I do have the default loadout, but in case anyone wants to see it, it'll be on screen about now. And the default loadout does tend to be the best because you get these miniguns which have really insane range and rocket pods which are often really handy to clean up kills, like these guys right here. Anyways, today we are playing on the Threshold map on the attack and defense mode, and you can only get the attack helicopter or the Recon helicopter if you're playing on the attacking team, so it's a little bit unfair. They don't get a helicopter of their own, but they do get an anti-air tank, so I am kind of trying to stay a bit aware of that. And then the other tricky thing is, right now we are capturing that A flag, and as soon as we get that captured, we will not be able to get another helicopter if I die in this one. So as soon as we capture this, the pressure's on for staying alive. If you do die in it, you're really letting down your team because this helicopter is a great asset to have, and this map is really, really hard to push. I mean, it's so hard that on the game that I was playing a little bit earlier with a friend of mine, we were getting absolutely steamrolled all the way to the last point, but as soon as you get to that last point, it can be extremely difficult, and somehow we ended up full holding them at the end of the game. So I really can't emphasize enough, keeping this helicopter up is the key priority here. So as you can see right there, there's an AA, stationary AA, we're gonna get rid of that, and prone guy over on the other side was really hard to kill, but those two guys are pretty easy to clean up. So the way that I'm playing this is pretty similar to how I play Renewal, I believe it is, in 2042. So you have a wall that divides in the middle, and you kind of just play around the wall. So I'm not going to go and commit too hard on those guys there because I can just get around to the side of the wall and post up, you know, kill my momentum right here and just have a look down the sides. And from this kind of angle, it doesn't look like there's much in sight right now, but this is where the entire enemy team is going to funnel through. So you can really have a pretty big impact just cancelling their reinforcements like this. You can already see as well, a lot of the enemy team are equipping the Stingers. Stinger is probably the thing that has been killing me the most, I would say, but it doesn't really have much reason to kill you. I've only really just figured out how to play this thing. This is like my third game right now playing it, and the Stinger hits very hard, and the countermeasure warning system is a little bit funky. You have to just get used to it, and I ended up flaring a bit earlier most of the time just to make sure that I'm not getting hit, because I believe it is a two-shot kill, something like 65 damage, I'm not sure. It hits very hard if it does hit. Anyways, right now I'm just like kind of pieing the angle open, so opening at one angle at a time, you know, picking off the enemies on each angle. It would be really silly for me to just go up directly and expose myself to everyone at once. Much better off just, you know, taking the angle bit by bit. I think I've heard it pieing the angle from X Factor like 10 years ago. That is the way you want to open up those kind of situations. And again, not going to commit too hard to a missed bunch of shots. I wasn't going to kill that guy, so I'm going to get out of sight. Now I have two Stingers peeking me on the right side here. I probably could use rocket pods right here, but I'm not really confident they're going to splash exactly where I want them. Finally pick one off, and I just finally also noticed the guy on the yellow rooftop. He's going to get it as well. I'm not sure what that guy was doing, but our team is doing really well here, and I think it is partially because they can't have any flanks. Like, there's no flanks available to them, because if they try anything silly, I'm going to be right here in the helicopter, and I am effective out to a pretty long range. Decided to commit to that Stinger player as well. Very much willing to pop my flares to get rid of him. The flares are on a pretty long cooldown, like a 20-second cooldown, so you do have to use them kind of sparingly, but luckily on maps like this, you have so much cover, I didn't even end up using them most of the time. And now it's like the team has kind of pushed everyone out. I should start looking for new angles, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly over the fence here, or the wall, it's not really a fence, and just have a look at the reinforcements running back in. Pre-fire this guy a little bit, easy kill there. And there is plenty of kills available to me, but I'm getting locked on. So I'm going to dump my rockets at these guys. Hopefully pick up... Oh, only 3. 3's still pretty good there. And again, now we're going to start pieing the corner out and looking for that Stinger player. So opening out the corner, I just spotted him there on the roof. Crane. Just really slowly opening up the angle. Get the kill. Look for the second guy. There was 2 up here. Don't see him. Down to the next one. That could be him. It was an engineer player. But we are getting pressured pretty heavily by the AA. So once again, I cannot afford to die in this thing because our team is going to need me more than ever as soon as we get to that last point. So I'm going to lay low for a minute here while we heal up. I suppose while we're healing up, I should also mention my control scheme. I will put a screenshot on the screen right now. You guys can see the control scheme I'm using. I will probably do a full-on settings video, but a lot of people always ask what controls I'm playing in Battlefield, and now this game I've already had questions about it. So it is the rifle aim control scheme that you know and love from Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 4. Basically what it's all about is aiming pretty much exclusively with your mouse. You want to make all of your movements and fine adjustments with the mouse because it's way more precise than the keyboard. And that's what you're seeing right here. At the very long ranges, it's very easy just to beam people out. The other thing worth mentioning here is how I've kind of learned to lead shots in this helicopter. So it did take me a little bit to get used to it, but I don't think looking at the bullets is awfully helpful in terms of getting shots. You kind of just want to use your hit markers to guide you. So what I ended up doing was just slowly aiming past my target until I start getting a nice stream of hit markers. And once I get that, I'm just really just guiding the aim in and just holding it around there. It does help to have like a nice low sensitivity to do this. And definitely in this game, less is more. As soon as you start moving your mouse around a lot, it's just going to be really, really hard to get consistent shots. And I did notice that in the comments in my last video. People were saying you need a very smooth, silk touch to play this game in the helicopter. And I definitely do agree with that. It is a very smooth kind of input favoring game. So definitely kind of try those things out when you try to lead your shots, and also just lead a little bit more than what you probably think you have to lead at least for me, it was a little bit extra lead of what I was expecting, especially playing so much infantry in Delta Force and having such high, muzzle velocities on all the guns in this game. And this point right here is just an absolute farm. As long as they're outside like this, you can rack up so many kills, and honestly, you just need to learn the spots and where you want to be at what time, and you're kind of off to the races in this game. It's a pretty straightforward farm. I honestly don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to do getting, big farms in this game. I would like to hit a 100 kill game. That would be a goal of mine. And other than that, I'm really waiting for the jets. The jets are what is going to definitely win me over when it comes to vehicles. It's always what I've kind of preferred playing in Battlefield. Again, I'm just trying to kind of pie open the corner. I know where they're playing. It's in this little, roof area. Thought I had enough rocket pods there to get the kill. I'm just waiting for him to peek the other side. And I'll dump a bunch of rockets if I have to here. There you go. I don't mind using as many rockets as I need to kill infantry players with stingers. And then I see 3 kills over here, but none of them are dying. Throw the rockets in. That's a nice 3-piece right there. I'll definitely be taking that 3-piece and fries. Thank you very much. And people just keep on running out of the building right now. As soon as they start staying in the building, it's going to get a lot harder for me. So I'm definitely happy for them to keep trying to contest my team outside, because I can definitely give some assistance. I mean, that guy died so fast with the headshot as well. That's insane. Another thing as well with the way I'm flying, I've noticed, is that I'm not really using much roll almost at all. Like, as soon as I start aiming, it's all with the rudder, and there's no roll going into it. I find that the roll in this game is extremely twitchy, and as soon as you introduce it, it just starts to make things a little bit harder, and you're adding an extra axis to things. So unless I'm aiming at something like going up a slope, I'm very unlikely to use much roll at all. Just tapping it here and there just to guide my heli into what direction I want it to glide in. I am trying to glide around just a little bit to be a bit harder to hit. But honestly, at this range, you don't really have to worry too much about people hitting you. You are very far away and genuinely pretty safe. Just there, we hit 64 kills as well, 0 deaths, so kind of pushing through this enemy team pretty well right now. But my team still is not inside the building yet. So despite me farming so much, we still haven't even got into any of the buildings. So this map is a really hard one to push. It's getting a bit dry on this side as well, so I should really start to look at moving to the other side and seeing what else is available for me. I'm kind of tunnel visioned on the Stinger players peeking the window though. They do keep on peeking me from that exact spot. There is one right there, but he's head glitching me. Got 62, 78 damage, and the rocket pod should clean it up there. So generally if you get over 50 and you can just dump 4 rockets in, you're probably going to end up with a kill. That's what I've found at least. I'm going to switch sides here as well, because we've definitely farmed the other side really hard, and all the Stinger players are learning to pre-aim that position already. So I've kind of burnt out the farm there. I want to explore new options here. Do see a guy behind this crate. Somehow managed to clip him with a rocket from 300 meters. I'll definitely be taking that. Send a few in on this guy, but one of them gets absorbed by the crane. It's alright, still get him anyway. And managed to just sneak another kill in there. There's a few more in there. Spam the corner. And that is really how I've ended up using rockets. It's mostly like a finishing move, so you get a bunch of hits, you throw in the rockets and try to get the last guy when he's on low health. I've overextended here just a little bit. I don't know exactly where the second AA is right now, so I don't really want to overextend and get caught out. So my team really hasn't made that great progress yet. I don't want to risk my life. I want to win the game, so I'm going to keep on playing in good setup, ready to assist my team when I can. Also, now that the building's all blown out, I can get rockets straight in there, so that's pretty handy. I'm just checking out the entrances, just trying to make some way for my teammates to get through. Something's bugged out there, so there's definitely a guy there, but for whatever reason, I cannot get a hit on him for my life. I can get hits on the other guy, but now neither of them are taking damage, so kind of stubbornly just trying to shoot them, but I'm going to give up on that and rotate around a little bit. I did notice that the land vehicle, the tank destroyer I believe, is on low health, so I'm going to try to look for that, just putting some bullets into that vehicle while I can. There he is. So tank destroyer is on pretty low health, going to try to splash him down with the rockets. And my rockets do almost no damage to him, so I'm going to have to get some more rockets and come back at him. Bunch of direct hits, and we got the vehicle down. So that is pretty big for the team. We did get hit by the AA, so going to have to retreat for a little bit, but getting that vehicle down is definitely going to help the boys out. See a guy outside. Those rockets should... Oh, okay. I thought those rockets were going to clean him up, but they didn't. That's alright. And now my teammates are mostly inside the building, so we are getting our heels dug into this attack, which is good. Just trying to clean up these guys peeking the open door. Unfortunately, I get neither of them, so right there, my mistake was definitely to not use the miniguns. I should have started out with the minis and then finished with the pods, but I was not willing to do that for some reason. And even at this range, hitting that much damage straight away is absolutely crazy in my opinion. I don't think that should be possible. I just killed that guy off a head glitch from 400 meters. I definitely think the heli is tuned the complete wrong way. Perhaps that's a different video to talk about, but in short, it's doing way too much at long range and it's not doing enough at close range. And the rocket pods are doing really, really strong, while the miniguns generally, unless you play like this, aren't that strong. So I think it needs to be kind of like what we saw in Battlefield 2042 at the start. So in the beginning of the game, the miniguns were really bad, but the rockets are great. And then they ended up changing it around. It was a lot better. I think the same thing has to happen here. Make it so that the miniguns, the more skillful option, are going to be your main moneymaker, and the rockets are just there, you know, if you need to clean people up. Or even if you're a good player, you probably should be using the laser-guided missiles instead of the rocket pods. So I would like to see that in Delta Force, but that is just my opinion. That guy just goes prone. 430 meters. He thinks he's safe. Absolutely not. Not against this thing. And this guy just standing out in the open. He's half damage. Just needs a little bit more, but something's bugging with him. I can't precisely get a hit. Now he's out in the open a bit more. Maybe I can get him. But that's the game there. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We finally pushed through and got the win. That is my best game in the Little Bird so far. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.